Hey, this is Punk Ass.
And Skyscrape.
And you're watching The Fight Life.
The fight life to me is probably the most constructive outlet I've ever had, because honestly everything I ever did before Jiu-Jitsu, I quit. I played sports when I was little, I quit. I went to college, first time I quit. I went to college, second time I quit. And no self-esteem just kind of snowballs into more bad things. But ever since Jiu-Jitsu, it gave me a reason to get up and work hard. Sometimes I think people learn from their own mistakes more than they do, from what their parents tell them, what the people in their life tell them. And, after I started doing Jiu-Jitsu, I started teaching kids, and it really, taught me to be a better role model. And that really does help me out, because now I'm in school, and now I have a job, and I'm making A's, and I'm doing good, and I'm finally at a point in my life where I can say I'm proud of how I'm living. But fighting, I guess, I'd say it's kind of a way to conquer your fears, I guess, because, everybody has fears, but I just, I guess I grew tired of waking up every day and not believing in myself. I guess most traditional sports in America, I grew up in Ohio, I moved to Texas, and here football is so prevalent. Growing up, I grew up in a small town, and you don't get second chances, and I wasn't one of the athletic kids, so, once you start out, I played trombone in the marching band when I lived in Ohio. So, the coaches didn't give me a second chance at, anything. But in Jiu-Jitsu, honestly, when I signed up, when I first moved here, I remember, I kept coming to class, and JD started giving me more and more attention because I came to class. And I feel like this is one of the only sports where my brain can get me a lot farther than, being physically strong. Because I started competing a lot in just Jiu-Jitsu. And honestly, I faced a lot of guys that are physically way, way stronger than me, or physically, in better shape than me, but, keeping your wits and strategy has got me a long way.
20 seconds work, 10-second rest. Gentlemen, the idea is to move as fast as possible, not slow motion. This is not a bodybuilding class. This is combat class, combat sports. Exercise you're going to do is burpees. Any questions?
Compared to, say, a workout gym or bodybuilding, some other outlet as far as weightlifting, an MMA gym, there's a ton of people that come here that, don't want to be fighters. There's people here that just want to get a good workout. There's people here that want to find confidence. There's people here that want to better themselves. There's people that want to protect themselves. Just because, Jiu-Jitsu doesn't mean you have to be a cage fighter. I know a couple people that are actually very, very technical and very, very skilled, and in all honesty, better than me at Jiu-Jitsu that, aren't cage fighters. And I would bet that people they work with actually have no idea. I know a guy named Shervina Alvai that works for a telecommunication company. He looks like a skinny guy with glasses, but that's actually one of the toughest people I've ever met in my entire life. But, you know, compared to working out, I used to be a kinesiology major, and bodybuilding, as far as a sport, and weightlifting, really focuses on the aesthetic part of, you know, the human body. But I'd say working at an MMA gym kind of opens your eyes to new methods of training. You know, it's one thing to talk about interval training, to look at, you know, people's VO2 max, stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. It's another thing to just go in and then when the coach tells you to do something, do it. Your heart rate's, and then you do it. And then afterward, when I go home, I honestly feel like I'll accomplish something. Because I remember the first time I did jiu-jitsu, I used to have a big problem. You know, I have ADD where I never do my homework. And when my first day I signed up for jiu-jitsu, when I left jiu-jitsu, I was so exhausted, but I felt so good. I went home and I did my homework. I know that sounds like a joke, but for me, that's an accomplishment.
Hi, my name is Ricardo Laborio with American Top Team. You're watching The Fight Live.
KRIS did have you know, I noticed that's a lot with students, not only with KRIS. You know, they lack a lot of motivation, especially at the young age, coming out of high school, and a lack of, a path to follow. Somebody that, you know, they could look up to. And, you know, I could see that, you know, I could tell he was ADD, but, you know, he's a hard worker. He always has been. He has a lot of friends. He's a good person. I can see he has a warm heart as a person. He's not a mean type of guy. I just put him to work. I did never let him quit on himself. I never, you know, some of the students, they get very frustrated when they're training, you know, because, you know, it's not a hard thing to get on the mat and you know, get tapped out. You know, nobody comes into gym or any jiu-jitsu gym for that matter and just dominates. You know, I've never seen it happen. I've been teaching, I've been training and teaching for, well, teaching 15 years. I've been training jiu-jitsu, and 14 years I've been teaching. I started teaching when I was a blue belt out of my garage. And you know, I didn't let KRIS give up on himself, even though he wanted to at times, you know, just like everybody else. You know, you just got to stay on your students, and motivate them. You know, everybody has their ups and downs. You have good days and bad days. You just got to stay on them as a coach, and, you know, just remind them that it's not the end of the world. You know, try to keep them off and away from bad influences in life. You know, so keep them on the straight and narrow path. As you know, I've seen a lot of potential in KRIS. Hands up, hands up. Hands up on your chest.
Good, Bobby. Watch those kicks, though.
Hands up.
Side to side, Bobby. Don't stand in front of you. Side to side.